Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be doing some more requested reaction videos, and this video is requested by Sonic Speed 175, and it's going to be Death of a Franchise by Scott the Woz. Of course, more Scott the Woz. I should just start a fucking Scott the Woz playlist at this point. Yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go.
Scott here. Embrace yourself, fellow family members, specifically those who are insecure about your placement in the family, because we have a new addition to the family. Ringo the Fly! An absolute all-star if I've ever seen one. I bought him at the pet store recently. Completely house-trained. Watch as he avoids the swatter. Yeah, this could have been easily avoided. The death of a loved one is definitely no fun, especially when that loved one is Chibi Robo. The video game industry has often been accused of rehashing the same entire franchises rather than churning out fresh new ones. Call of Duty, Battlefield, FIFA, Mario, Pokemon, Forza, Assassin's Creed. The amount of times you'll see these names on store shelves year after year surely defines an overdose.
Yeah.
But for every franchise a company won't stop pumping out, there's like 4 more they own they have done absolutely nothing with for the past eon and a half. Dead franchises, series that have been put on hold or simply never to be heard from again for one reason or another. Some have been dormant for some time, and some have recently been resurrected after long thought of to be dead. Sega is one of the best when it comes to not giving a piss about their franchises. I'd consider almost every single one of their IPs to be dead. Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Space Channel 5, Vector Man, Alex Kidd, Virtua Fighter, basically anything that's not Sonic, Yakuza, or Valkyria Chronicles has not been touched by Sega in at least 5 years. Most of these series are relegated to nothing more than compilation titles and cameo appearances.
Yeah.
A shame, truly. Nintendo isn't as guilty as Sega, but definitely isn't getting off scot-free when it comes to leaving franchises in a hot-locked car. Chibi Robo, the most underappreciated of the underappreciated. The main game people remember him for is the first game on the GameCube, because, well, it was a Chibi Robo game, an adventure in a big house as a tiny robot. He's gotten multiple games since then, but they aren't what people consider main Chibi Robo games, and are more so spin-offs. Either that, or they're put in circumstances where it's impossible for the game to do well. Chibi Robo Park Patrol was a Walmart exclusive, and Nintendo probably blamed Chibi Robo when the game didn't sell well. You got 2 3DS titles, one being an eShop exclusive Photo Finder, which is more so a smaller game based around taking pictures, and the other being Ziplash. This game blows! This is not what any game franchise deserves. Not only did no Chibi Robo fan ever ask for a 2D platformer for the character, but nobody asked for a bad one at that. It's so generic, bland, and just not fun at all, yet Nintendo said that the future of the franchise depended on the success of Ziplash. I'll see ya, Chibi Robo.
Rest in peace.
The F-Zero franchise has been in the ground for the past 14 years. Possibly left to rot because Mario Kart is Nintendo's main racing series. I guess they'd rather focus on that one instead. Shigeru Miyamoto has stated that the main reason an F-Zero game hasn't been made in such a long time has been the lack of new ideas. They simply haven't come up with a good idea on where to take this series, and if a new controller brings forth a new idea, then a new F-Zero game will shortly follow. Now that implies F-Zero hasn't been on Nintendo's mind since the last release, but it's been reported that Nintendo went to burnout developer Criterion in 2011.
I want to see
Wipeout. Develop a new F-Zero for the Wii U. However, they were too busy at the time to take it on, which is a mega bummer. That would have been the coolest.
Twisted Metal Remastered.
Snowboarding, Wave Race, Custom Robo, Star Tropics, so many series that weren't given another look for over a decade. Nintendo truly has loads of dormant IP, it's insane. One many will surely point out is Earthbound/Mother, which is done mainly because the creator Shigesato Itoi considers Mother 3 to be the end and has no plans
Did an angry video game
but who knows, maybe somebody else at Nintendo can take over and make a 4th game. Back in the late 2000s,
oh yeah, I'm familiar with this.
The craze was hitting hard, with industry titans EA and Activision duking it out with their respective Rock Band and Guitar Hero franchises.
God, I fucking love
Not only
Guitar
were they
Hero.
releasing new titles annually, but they both flicked the holy shit slow down switch on by releasing multiple titles yearly, and EA specifically flicked the just kill it now switch with Lego and Green Day Rock Band. Listen, these weren't just games that were getting released constantly. These were $100+ sets that were taking up shelf space
Aerosmith
in the market.
was awesome as
It
well.
makes sense that these things completely died out. They simply were oversaturated to the point where many consumers didn't care to constantly buy them. But then, hope glimmered. Rock Band developer Harmonix and Activision decided to resurrect the rhythm games for another go the same year with Rock Band 4 and Guitar Hero Live. Yep, the tried and true resurrection tactic works every time. Every time. The music game genre was completely beaten to death, literally back in the day, and when they gave it another shot, not enough people cared, or at least not as many as before.
Yeah.
Another franchise Activision burned to the ground was Skylanders, the Toys to Life game featuring another dead franchise people can't get enough of, Spyro the Dragon. Poor Spyro was used as a sacrificial lamb for Skylanders' success. His name appeared in the first game's subtitle just to ignite interest in the franchise, and when it took off, well, Spyro was kind of pushed to the side. Kids and collectors went bonkers for this series, and it saw a new installment every single year until 2017, where Activision decided to halt development due to declining sales. They wanted to hop out of the sinking ship before it became a sinking ship on fire, just like Guitar Hero did. Skylanders inspired other companies to throw their hat in the Toys to Life ring, and almost every single one of them saw some success, but then saw cancellation. Disney Infinity was a very similar concept, but with Disney characters and worlds, and the project was put to an end and shelved after version 3.0. And LEGO Dimensions saw the same fate as well, with further development of the project ending. And with that, I will give my world-famous response to these games ending development.
The following is owned by Scott Wozniak.
While a cool idea at first, these things flooded the market and overwhelmed and kind of annoyed everybody. Now you want to talk dead, let's talk Rare. Originally a Nintendo developer, Rare created some instant classics: Banjo-Kazooie, Killer Instinct, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Then when making the leap into the console market, Microsoft purchased the company so they could nab some killer exclusives on the original Xbox. They did nothing for them. Rare literally barely released anything of note after the Microsoft acquisition. Like, yeah, some titles were quality, but nowhere near as iconic as their original hits. It's definitely fair to consider the vast majority of Rare series dead. Sure, Killer Instinct made a pretty stellar comeback, but Conker and Banjo-Kazooie, it's not looking too bright for these guys at this very moment. Especially because the most they've been used for has been compilations and tech demos. That's basically it. Sometimes a game series can be considered dead while it's still going on, one main example being Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima announced Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain would be the last in the long-running franchise, and before the game's release, Konami had a major corporate shakeup with new hirees and firees. Later, the famous term on most Metal Gear games, a Hideo Kojima game, and any mentioning of Kojima's studio Kojima Productions were removed from the Phantom Pain's website and box art. However, Kojima confirmed that he was going to be with the Phantom Pain's development until the very end. Konami was not a great place to work. Far from it. With cameras monitoring employees' every movement, berating and humiliating employees who make mistakes, and restricting Kojima Productions workers from corporate utilities and internet access. The way they pushed Kojima out of the company was far from ideal, especially considering he was basically the face of the company, and they treated his name like it was the plague, stripping it off of his products and renaming Kojima Productions to Number 8 Production Department. Why would Konami do this? Possibly because they wanted to focus on their mobile game and pachinko business, with AAA game development being incredibly expensive, especially anything Kojima touched, even though his projects usually turned out to be quite successful. With The Phantom Pain released, Kojima considered the Metal Gear series to be complete, but of course Konami didn't think that themselves and later announced Metal Gear Survive.
Wasn't that the zombie?
Budget, online, microtransaction infested.
What was the zombie one? It was absolutely terrible.
Isn't necessarily what people want to see from Metal Gear, a series based around stealth and espionage. Kojima officially left Konami and started a new Kojima Productions himself, where he is developing the PS4 game Death Stranding, which seems to be taking elements from a game he was working on at Konami that got
I want to
canceled.
play this so bad.
Silent
It's coming
Hills.
to Steam.
Silent Hills,
Silent Hills,
survival
it
horror
got
series
cancelled.
originating on the
Damn it.
PlayStation 1. It continued to get installment after installment, and then
I wanted to
bam,
play it so
Silent
bad.
Hills announced, a breath of fresh air, one of the most prolific horror experiences in gaming ever released, and of course cancelled.
Yeah,
it was all
cancelled.
due to Kojima and Konami's little
Motherfuckers.
spat. Haven't heard from Silent Hills since that cancellation,
Sons of
disregarding any
bitches
machine
had to
related to
cancel it.
Japanese gambling. While we're on the topic, Konami, man, what a company of corpses. Contra, Gradius,
done
Castlevania,
over
Konami
and
doesn't seem
over.
all too interested in bringing these series back in any sort of legitimate gaming experience. Alas, dead franchises don't always stay dead. Keiji Inafune, the artist and later producer of the Mega Man series, left Capcom in late 2010, a few months after the release of Mega Man 10. After his departure, it seemed as if Capcom had no idea what it wanted to do with the Mega Man franchise. The game Mega Man Universe, which was basically a Mega Man level creator, was cancelled in March of 2011, with it being basically completely finished. Mega Man Legends 3 was being developed for the 3DS, but was quickly cancelled after the announcement of a prototype. A gritty first-person reboot of the franchise entitled Maverick Hunter was never announced, but cancelled in 2010. Salt was added to the wounds of Mega Man fans when Mega Man was announced as a guest character in the PlayStation versions of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and while it was meant to be taken as just a dumb joke, the use of the bad box art version of Mega Man from the first game was not handled well at all by fans in the context of Mega Man's state. The most Mega Man got from 2010 to 2017 were mobile games, re-releases of older titles, a Capcom-endorsed fan game, and a Super Smash Bros. Appearance. Mega Man was basically considered to be dead. That is until the announcement of Mega Man 11 late last year. There is a God, and wow, it's incredibly anticlimactic that it turned out to be Capcom. But man, that is almost a decade of no games, when previous years housed too many Mega Man games, sprawling all kinds of different genres and series. The Metroid series was one of Nintendo's most famous dormant franchises for quite a while. Metroid took a hiatus from the release of
Metroid for the
1994's
GameCube
Super
is
Metroid
awesome.
to 2002's Metroid,
Metroid
Prime
I
Infusion.
think, yeah.
And then things were looking pretty good for the series until Other M. Yikes. Other M was developed by Team Ninja, and while a structurally decent game, did numbers to the story and made the game an overall negative experience for most fans. 2010 was the last we heard from the series until 2015 with the announcement of Metroid Prime Federation Force, a
Jesus.
4-player first-person co-op game for the Nintendo 3DS where you control nameless soldiers.
Meh.
2010 was the last we heard from the series until 2017 with the announcement of Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid Samus Returns. Selling poorly, a loss of talent, a lack of focus, oversaturation, negative reception, all can kill a franchise off. But unlike a fly, death isn't permanent most of the time in the video game industry. Just because a game developer hasn't made a new series entry in a while, doesn't mean it will never not happen again.
Meh,
We will see a
I
new
don't
F-Zero.
mind.
We will
If
see
they
a new Chibi
remaster
Robo,
it,
a new
it's
Banjo-Kazooie,
pretty
a new
cool.
Castlevania, a new Road Rash, a new Dino Crisis, a new
Dino
Chrono game.
Crisis, oh yes.
It'll happen, guys. Don't sweat it. What may not work out now, may work in the future. Come on, Mega Man is back, Metroid is back, XCOM is back, fucking
XCOM.
Bubsy. Anything's
Bubsy,
possible.
fucking hell,
If you're a
Bubsy.
fan of a certain series that hasn't seen any love recently, there's a pretty decent shot that
Fucking
someday
rings.
it'll be back.
Don't show the
On
rings,
second
please.
thought,
I'm
I think
getting
it was being a bit
flashbacks.
too rash-burying, Ringo. I think I'm gonna pull a video game company and turn my dead property into cash. I'm gonna return him to the pet store. Shit, he was on clearance.
Oh boy. Okay, that's the death of a franchise by Scott the Woz, and you know what? Yeah, some of those games I don't mind not coming back. I mean, how many times can you do Castlevania for crying out loud? But I don't mind the games coming back, being remastered and enhanced, not completely entirely rebuilt. No, just sort of enhanced graphics, new Easter eggs, new bonus stages, just box art within the game, just new music soundtracks, remastered digital soundtracks, and just all these digital goodies and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, just if they did it right, if they remastered the game, and they enhanced the graphics and the gameplay, the frames per second, and you know, improved controls and all that, yeah, it's totally worth it. But unfortunately, there was a Metal Gear. What was that Metal Gear game? That was absolutely dreadful. That zombie one. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Survival. I can't remember. I don't know. But it was Metal Gear, and there were zombies in it, and it was just an absolute awful, awful game. I just could not believe they released that. I think also you had to pay for a game save slot. I cannot believe they made us pay to save our game. Oh my god, they must have took a book out of EA or Bethesda, honestly. That's what, if Bethesda's gonna start making us charge us to save our games, Jesus Christ, please no. Yeah. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, that was death of the franchise for Scott the Woz, and I totally agree. Some should be back, but some are left, sort of just left alone. Just leave them, let them return in 5 years, fully remastered or something, built up from the ground. But as for these ones, I don't mind the new ones being enhanced with graphics and all that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.